Oh shit.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away.
PPG.
Lady, I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Lady, I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy. I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy.
Jamil, I remember in 2006 when you decided to go to Atlanta. I wasn't really excited about you going, but I saw that you were determined to go. Because when you were on your way, the car broke down, and you got out of your car and got into your cousin's car and had your car towed back home and kept going to Atlanta. And then from there, I just saw how you began to bloom. And you had your ups, you had your downs. And even though I was here and you were there, I was still just a phone call away. And we talked every day. It's just been exciting to see how you've grown, how you've changed your way of thinking, how you've enlightened me in your journey, how you've shared so much knowledge, and you've taught me so much. You've taught me how to think for myself. You've taught me how to investigate for myself and seek out the truth. And that's something that I never did before. And I'm really grateful for that. It has taken a lot of courage for you to do the things you've done. You have made me proud. I'm excited for you. I love you. I admire you. You encourage me to pursue the best me that I can possibly be. In all that I do, I share with you. And I'm grateful for that, and I love you.
Mystery lady, I know the world is going crazy. I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy.
Baby, let's get away. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Q Corals, what's a ham, Naptown? Holla at your boy. Feeling kind of DJ-ish right now. Just had to come back off of a nice vacation. What's going on, Q Corals? Oh man, let me get you off mute. There you go.
You know what?
There you go. Let's get away. Let's start that over. Good morning, Q Coral. What's going on, Naptown?
I came with you this morning.
Right. That's right. I'm on a whole nother level this morning. And good morning to
you. Definitely are.
Men, women, children, Rottweilers, and Chihuahuas that eat house food. Hey, there we go again.
And pit bull puppies.
And pit bull puppies. That's right. Good morning, Mama Harley. Good morning. She says good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh man, what's going on out there in them Naptown streets?
Listen, yesterday, I don't know who turned off the heat, but they turned that thing out real quick. They turned that shit out real quick. It was freezing yesterday. It was cold and rainy.
Hey, Indianapolis, just take a break. Everybody, come on down to Atlanta, take a break. They say ain't no more room here, but we got room. You're just gonna have to be out in Stockbridge or Douglasville or McDonough. We got room though. Cause Indianapolis is off the chain. Huh?
I know y'all got room.
We got plenty of room. And if I know you, I got a little room if I know you. If I really rock with you, I got a little room. But if I don't know you, I'm gonna be out of town for the next 7 months. What's up, Des? Yeah,
Good morning.
Former Naptown alumni out there in Phoenix.
Yes.
Man, this is not even part of the show, but I sent you that post a couple weeks ago when it said Indianapolis is ranked the #1 most stressful city in the country.
Yeah, I reposted it. Did you see me? I posted it on Facebook, and my mama liked it.
She's like, yeah, that's right, girl. Bring the stress home. What's up, Brooklyn? Stand up. You heard me. What'd you say?
BK in the building.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Brooklyn cats, they shower in Tim's. You know what I'm saying? They be like, hey, yo, son. Yo, I love my Brooklyn folks, man. Hey, that's my guy. That's my guy. Hey, yo, Shun, you know what I mean? They always, hey, yo, Shun.
That's my guy.
Hey, yo, Shun, I gotta go take a shower in these butter soft leathers. You know what I mean? I gotta break them in, kid. You feel me?
Listen, but they also stick together. They also stick together like nobody's business. So in 2.5, you keep making fun of him and his Timbs. It's about to be like 50 million other Brooklyn
Hey,
Brooklyn
real,
boys on this thing.
I used to work at this job, and love to see you both. Love to see you on the show, Des. My guy Cha Cha in the building. What's up, Cha Chisel?
Yeah.
So I used to work at this job, and this is when I was active in the comedy field, like I was traveling and stuff, and I was a contractor, so I could come back and work. And because people knew I was a comedian, they always wanted to crack jokes, and I wasn't always in the mood and being on. So I told him, I said, "Listen, I'm gonna get you." It was almost like the Neil. I have a special skill set. I will find you. And I will kill you.
I will kill you.
And so I told him, I said, listen, get it off right now. Have all the fun. But when I'm on, you're going to want to fight me. Trust me. But I'm not going to stop until I'm ready to stop. So y'all go ahead. They didn't believe me. And so I remember we got to this one school, and it was a bunch of New York cats at the job, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx. I mean, they was from all the boroughs. And they united like Voltron. I got you. Every last one of you. And so we went to this one site one day, and it was probably like a day or two after they had their fun. And I mean, I lit that ass up with my belt. Hey, yo, what's good, Shane? I see you over there. You know what I mean? Putting together computers or whatnot or whatever. And I just went, and then they would say, "Oh, you think shit sweet, son? You think it's sweet? You think it's sweet?" And then I just kept going and going, and then everybody around was dying laughing. They would say, hey yo, man, you think it's funny, huh? I was like, remember what I told you? I'm gonna get you, and I'm not gonna stop. Man, I had the project managers dying laughing, man. And I finally stopped because it was like they was getting ready. They was like, we asked for this. We asked for this.
Listen,
but it was all out of love, man. I love when I get a hold of some genuine people.
Though. You see that?
They did. They united like Voltron on my Midwest. On my solo dolo Midwest. Yeah, man. And that's why when I go to different jobs and stuff, I try to keep it low key as long as I can. You know, but it don't stay low key as long because, you know, people start wanting to crack jokes and be like, nah, that ain't, I'm not in the mood to crack jokes. This is not funny right now. You better shut up before we both get walked down to HR.
A lot of people don't know that about comedians or even that of funny people. Just
funny
general.
people.
Like,
yeah.
Overall, they're people. You know what I mean? And it's like even they have their moments. Like
we can't be funny all the time.
To crack jokes out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And for a lot of regular people, it's really just a coping mechanism.
Yeah. And I come from a family of comedians. Everybody's funny. Grandma, mama, you know, grandpa. And, you know, speaking of that, and I'm not going to speak too much on this. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if I shared any of it with you, but the basketball player Kwame Brown, he has been roasting the entire black media representation, the sellout black media. He's been lining them up.
You didn't have to listen. You didn't have to tell me. I get a notification on YouTube. It just popped up. Bling. I was like, okay. At first, I wasn't going to look at it. It took me like 2 or 3 days to look at it. And then when I looked at it, I was like, God dang. He wasn't playing no games.
And he said to Stephen Jack, he said, I grew up joning on people. This is what we had to. And let's go a little bit deeper. So as a kid, as growing up poor, we always had the Joan, especially being poor and fat. Like that was a double whammy. They was gonna get you. You broke. You got on XJ 900s and your thighs rubbed together. You're like, damn, you mean. But it was as I got older, I realized it was other poor kids making fun of my poorisms. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that because their parents always spent their money on, Jordans and Guess and all this other stuff. Yeah. As an adult, I realize now your parents had poor spending habits and y'all lived in an apartment. Nothing wrong with living in an apartment, but I lived in a house growing up. Now it was a nice, decent small house, but when you don't know what you should know, or you don't comprehend, you don't get it, you'll think that this mouse is bigger than the elephant. And so as an adult, I grew up and I start to see how the people's lives play out of those children that made fun of me for being just like them. And I'm like, wow, we've really been tricked. Because instead of bullying, and even though to some degree bullying, I think to some degree, it toughens your skin. Because this world is not soft. This world is not cushiony and cottony. But some kids do take it to the extreme. But there's no progress without struggle. Quote Frederick Douglass on that. Yeah. When you grow up joning, like joning was like fighting. Before you got to the fist, it was like, I'm going to have to demoralize you mentally and make everybody laugh to where if you want to fight me, you're going to look stupid because you just admitted you got lost. I mean, you lost in the joning contest.
And see, that was a skill that I never possessed. I was the overly sensitive.
Oh, you always started. I started crying too, but after I got a few jokes off.
No, but see, I wasn't funny, so I never could get the jokes off. I was the size of a toothpick, so it was just like, man, when the class clown got in, then it was like, because I couldn't get any off, that just opened up the door for even the poor kids,
the corniest kids, jokes that was getting
the corniest, like them. That's why you wear glasses.
Ooh,
like, you're right.
She wear glasses. Ooh, knowing your ass is blind as hell. You just ain't got insurance to get glasses, but you gonna make fun of her.
Like that's why your mama sent the teacher a note saying, can he please sit in the front of the class because he's having problems with his vision.
Yeah, he's dyslexic, but he's making fun of you. Like, you can't even read front to back. I mean, left to right. Stop it.
Like, my goodness, but I always wished I had possessed it. So then what ended up happening is, as time grew on, and I love to laugh too. So as time went on, I started linking myself with the funnier people. Hence, ta-da!
Let's get away, Mr. Related.
So, I'm not funny. I mean, every once in a while I got them, but I'm not the person to have it all the time. But all of my friends, are comedians in their own right. Like, you are just full blown. You know what I mean? But then I have people like Tamika, who's funny and don't know that she's funny. Tamika is actually really hilarious, but she just don't. She's one of them people who's funny without trying to be funny. And she'll look at you and be like, "No, I was serious.
I was serious." People laugh at me when I'm angry. Like, I'll be mad and I just start saying stuff. And I'm like, "Listen, what are you laughing at? I'm pissed right now." No, it's just the way you say it, man.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where I know, sometimes I know, when your tone changes, and I'll be like, all right, so that wasn't meant to be funny. Okay, so I'm not gonna laugh. So, but no, but I I've just learned to, I'm with the class clowns now. So
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, a teacher telling me, you should be a comedian when you grow up. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be reckless in your class. But I'm, I don't have aspirations. That's too great of a task, but we about to tear this club up. How about that? But now, you know, growing up, teachers and older coworkers would always be like, man, you funny. You should be a comedian. And, you know, that actually came to pass. But at any rate, shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to get to the show topics. So this week I had the pleasure of kicking it with my cousin, Lude, aka Komayan, out in Vegas. Now, I didn't realize how much I didn't know how much work Vegas was. I've been to Vegas before, but maybe it's because I'm older. But it was a lot of work. Like the first time I went to New York, oh man, New York destroyed my feet because I came with the wrong shoes. I came with the Soldier Rees. When you go to New York, you need to go to Discount Tire and just buy 4 sets of tires for your feet. Just go and get you some low profile touring, whatever, and strap them onto your shoes. But so I went to Vegas and I just had on some regular canvas. I had some old school Fila and some Puma canvas on, cheap shoes. I mean, you know, look good, but don't hit the pocket much because I'm spending my money. Mama, can I borrow? You know what I mean? Okay. Well, I need to get back to the place where I can get my mama to get me some shoes. Ooh, these shoes are expensive. I got $20 on it. But man, I'm walking up the strip and I'm starting to. It's like my right foot started smoking. What the hell's going on down here? But man, nonetheless, we had a ball, man. We did a whole lot of walking and a whole lot of sightseeing, but it was fun nonetheless. But in my downtime, like the quiet time, getting going before you get to the ruckus and the chaos of Vegas, like I just was thinking of stuff. Just, you know, that's the way my brain works. And on the flight, I started watching one of my favorite movies, The Matrix. And just watching The Matrix, every time I watch it, I usually like watch it like once a year. And even though they're like 3 or 4.
It's a million of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, and they need to keep going. As a matter of fact, I need to look up the black woman that created the script that Hollywood stole from, but she ended up getting paid anyway.
What?
Yeah, but you didn't know that?
No, that's some research.
I mean, when you look at The Matrix, that's our story. That's enlightenment. That's consciousness talking about what's going on.
Now, I saw that. Like, I could very clearly see that, but I like the fact that it was a black woman that.
Matter of fact, somebody Google that for me so I can get the name right, so I can give her flowers and props. But anyway, so I'm watching The Matrix, and I see something new every time I watch it. So this time I watch it, and there was a word that the Oracle said. She was telling Neo when he first came into enlightenment after Morpheus gave him the pill. The phrase is a Latin phrase called Temet nosce. Temet nosce means know thyself. And I was like, wow. So when people who are confused, when people call themselves conscious or enlightened, basically the fundamental part of that is Temet nosce, know thyself. Know yourself.
Her name was Sophia Stewart.
Sophia Stewart. Shout out to Sophia Stewart. Sophia Stewart.
Yeah.
They stole that woman's script and idea and created The Matrix, but they paid her at the end. And the movie was pretty dope. At the end, it kind of got the last one. They was just struggling,
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, knowledge itself is supremely important, which a lot of us we don't have, because it's been when the colonizers colonized the various regions of the world, not just
Mhm.
Africa, but the world, they destroyed literature. They destroyed culture.
Yeah.
They destroyed the knowledge of self, and then they replaced it with Abrahamic religions, with politics, with capitalism, with all these things. And when you look at how that's functioning in society today, everybody is like, so all over the place.
Yes.
People that look like each other think polar opposite about who they are, where they come from. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said the all-seeing eye. They mentioned a story about the all-seeing eye, and then the way they were positioning it, they said the all-seeing eye was evil. And I was like, okay, this is a time to teach. And I know that with certain people, you can't just break it down how you see it, because they're going to say subconsciously, I don't know what this is. He definitely don't know what it is. He's not a doctor. He's not a psychiatrist, psychologist. He's not a scientist. There's no way he is capable of comprehending this. So I just responded back, look up the Eye of Horus. They went and looked up the Eye of Horus, and they was like, wow, I never knew that. I know you didn't. They refused to teach that to you, which understandably so. The institutions or organizations that have colonized your brain and your body, now it's the brain. They don't have to do the body anymore, even though privatized prisons are running overboard. Like, we have more prisons per capita in this country than anywhere else in the globe.
Yeah.
It's a big profit.
In the world. Yeah.
They have dispensaries all over the country now selling weed, but there's people in prison right now doing time for selling weed, for selling plants that were already investigated and did studies on during the Nixon administration, during the Reagan administration, all these administrations, and they said this plant doesn't do any harm, but it also has health properties to it. But anyway, going back to knowledge itself, that sort of coincides with fear. So when you don't understand things, when you don't comprehend things to the point where you enter over and understand the whole parameter of what's going on, anybody can say anything of it. And if they have this flashy title, you will take it on as to be true. And then depending on which way they spin it, you'll either admire it or you will fear it. So when you look at race relations, I was watching an interview with Michael Jai White, and he had spoke about the Stop Asian Hate thing that was going on a few weeks back. And he said it's really interesting that when this group says stop Asian hate, there's no rebuttal about stop all hate.
Yeah.
There was no pushback. Everybody got quiet. As a matter of fact, it was like, oh, you know what? Let's go over here. What's going on over here? All right. They totally ignored it. And we got in our feelings. Now, that's emotion. You get triggered emotionally. But when you have knowledge of self, certain things they no longer concern you to the point where you're fearful of it. When you get angry at somebody, so this is how I break down anger. When you get angry at somebody, it's because you're surprised that they did what they did. If you're not surprised at them doing what they did, then you're like, that's just you being you. And from there, you take that energy that you would have used to see, look at that. You would have took that energy and then applied it to, well, let me maneuver over here to the left. Let me set this stuff up. And so knowledge of self and fear, they don't go together. But when you don't have knowledge of self, it's easy to be controlled by fear, whether it's anxiety, depression, and I know this because I've been through all of that. But once you start to discipline yourself and start to study and start to learn some things, you bring yourself closer and closer to knowledge of self. I don't know if I'm tying this all together because it's just a lot going on in my head. When I was showering this morning, I was trying to piece it together because I was like, man, the Matrix is so deep. But not everybody that watches it can see the different levels of it. And knowledge of self is so important. What is knowledge of self? Just what it says. when you ask, I had a cousin tell me. She says, because we was having the conversation about actual history versus mythological history.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we will agree, not that it's worth agreeing or denying, because it just is. We picked up these different religions due to slavery. We didn't come over here doing all that stuff. As a matter of fact, when you look at the black church, you can parallel a lot of the antics that we do in the black church to hoodoo, to other black spiritual systems that we were already doing. There was a post that I saw where Shaka Zulu was talking to a colonizer. The colonizer said, if you don't take on Christianity, you're going to burn in hell. Shaka Zulu said, around here, we eat fire. Now, I thought that was so amazing because although eventually they were colonized, that, you know, those different regions in Africa, but that was a free man talking.
It was.
He didn't concede and be like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, he didn't fold.
He was like, man, you don't know who you talking to, because we gonna go down with the plane on this one.
Yeah.
And he had knowledge itself. You couldn't intimidate him with certain things.
Because he knew who he was, yeah.
He knew who he was. And he loved who he was more than he loved, what's the word I'm looking for? Him loving himself and who he was and everything that constitutes, he loved that more than being here living, I guess. I guess I can put it like that. Which means is Tupac would say, I'd rather die as a man than live as a coward.
Right.
And so all that I'm putting out right now is that we need knowledge of self. Who are you under your labels, under your corporate titles, under your political affiliations, under your fashion, your designer clothes, under your cars, under your makeups, under your weaves, under your man weaves, under your beard paint? And who are you underneath all of these attributes that don't really mean nothing? And you know, and when you really look at it, because there's somebody that is total opposite of you that is doing way better in life. There's somebody just like you that does the same thing, that adheres to the same piece of knowledge, that's doing worse than you. So all these different, that don't matter. Who are you? And I'm talking to the camera, but I'm talking to me. Anytime I have these discussions, I'm talking to the people, but I'm mirroring it and talking to me. And so throughout 2020, man, my anxiety was so high because all this stuff that was happening. And I looked at it again, reevaluated. There's a reason why everything on the TV is constantly negative. It's a reason why when it comes to black movies, they only show our struggle and our dysfunction. Because you are taking that and you're applying it to who you are. That's not who you are. But it's up to you to find out who you are. You know, when you look at, I was listening to, I forget this comedian's name, but even from Dick Gregory on down to Paul Mooney, like they get on stage and they just talk about, you know, how we were colonized or the racism in society. And it you know, it's funny, but I'm like, hey, it's 2021. We should be empowering ourselves. Because by continuously talking about, yeah, y'all did this to us, y'all keep doing this to us, it's like we're putting ourselves in a position to be like, well, this just is what it is. But it don't have to be what it is. It's up to the minds of the masses to say, we need to make a change, and let me start with me. I want to be the change. How about we turn off the TV? No, one thing that really I try not to let bother me is when I see grown-ups admire things like trap music. Trap music is the soundtrack to our demise. But we'll go to the Trap Music Museum and we'll post up with all these trap music rappers who in their message, they never say nothing positive about black women. They never say anything positive about entrepreneurship, about self-sufficiency. They don't talk about being empowered. They don't talk about anything. Everything they tell you is to jump off the roof, but shake your ass in the meantime. You're like, ooh, I love trap music. I love trap music and Jesus. Like, that don't even make sense. But, you know, I just wanted to tie that together, man. And you fear what you don't understand. Nas said that. He said, what did he say? You fear what you don't understand. I guess that's the origin of man or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at everything you fear and you take the boogeyman out of it, like I was talking to this brother the other day, and he mentioned the word hell. And I said, you know, the original meaning for hell just meant hole in the ground. So if you plan on getting buried back in the day before the word changed, you were going to hell. When you have the power to control narratives, to control history, to rewrite the meaning of a word, ta-da! I mean, bling. Desiree says people don't care about being authentic or being transparent. Well, we don't know how to necessarily. I was talking to my guy Cha-Cha the other day, and I brought up the word discipline. The only time I heard the word discipline growing up is the times when I was around my father. Other than that, I never heard the word discipline. Discipline is something that is taught. That's not something that that's not like your hair, your fingernails. That has to be taught. And in a lot of cases, our elders didn't have the information because they were getting their information. The information that charged them was information that was forced on their ancestors in order for them to survive during that hellacious period of chattel slavery. And so there was no cognitive light that goes off and say, hey, maybe I should look into what Big Mama taught me because she just died from a heart attack from the way she was eating. And I don't think I should be eating like that. But instead, we like, give me them hog maws. You know, Big Mama used to whip them things up. And now your ankles is like this big. And now you going to the doctor for insulin and blood pressure medication and all this other stuff. We have to do something different. I did a video a long time ago. It says, are you angry enough to do something different? Like we'd be angry and do the same thing that our predecessors did that didn't yield any tangible change. It might have yielded some type of symbolic, hey, let's paint Black Lives Matter on the street. There's no reparations. There's no the anti, what was it? What's the little guys, the little boy's name that the Emmett Till bill still hasn't passed. Still hasn't passed. That's been in circulation for how long? The Black Caucus. The Stop Asian Hate bill, that hate crime bill, that came like within 2 weeks of Biden coming in office. And he wasn't begging them for their votes.
No.
They have one of the lowest turnouts when it comes to voting. We save Democrats and we don't get nothing for it. So you have to start. And if you don't, you don't. You don't have to do nothing, I'm saying. But if you want some change, the change starts in your house.
Yep.
Fear is fake. Now, one thing that sort of intensifies fear is pain. Nobody likes pain. I just smashed my finger Sunday or Saturday. Ooh, did it hurt. I was half asleep. Matter of fact, yep, it was after the show because I had stayed up late Friday, got up early to set up the studio. So I went out trying to buy something to wear for Vegas. And I go to the mall, and I do this. I shut the door 1,000,000 times in my lifetime, and I've never done so. I go to shut the door, and I go to turn away, trying to be cool with my sunglasses on, you know, my slow motion. Shut the door and was like, pow! And I felt this jolt of pain. And I tried to snatch it out. It was like something bit it. But I looked, it was the door. The door bit my finger. So I had to open the door, boom. finger swole up. Hold that right there. I read a passage the other day. It said pain is just a lesson. That's all pain is. And I'm not saying you want to go out and be like, hey, shoot me, beat me up. I want to feel the pain. Nobody wants to feel the pain. But we cannot be afraid of the pain. You know, the Zulus, the story, you know, 300, you saw 300, right?
Yeah.
So when they said today's a good day to die,
Mm-hmm.
that started in Africa. The Zulu nation, it was an honorable thing to die for an honorable cause. It wasn't until these different religions that we were forced into that now we're afraid of death. And so one thing I say about stand-up comedy, public speaking, I don't know if it still is, but when I was doing my run with stand-up comedy, the most number one feared thing in this world was not death, it was public speaking.
Yeah.
Once you got over that fear of public speaking, in addition with knowledge itself, like, I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid of death. Nobody wants to, but that's not something that I'm afraid of. So because you've removed those two fears, now you can step forth and be who you are, who you should be. But when you have that barrier or fear around due to the lack of knowledge of self, you're going to sit in front of a blank fence. You ever seen that video where the dogs, they barking at each other like behind the fence, and when they move the fence, they like, oh, well, I'll be damned. We are in each other's face. I'm not coming to fight you. And then the gate closes again.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Or you have a dog that's been locked in the house his whole life, and you open the door. The dog just gonna sit by the door like, that is pretty outside. That is nice. That invisible barrier is fear. So, you know, that's all I got to say about that. It just was something that was on my mind. Come on, somebody. Yes. But that's it. You know, I just wanted to share that with the people to get forth on their Saturday and go forward in their summer. Don't allow fear to prohibit you from doing the things that you say that you want to do in your life. I remember an old friend of mine says, I want to move to Atlanta, but God don't want me to move. And I said, that doesn't make sense, because when I was in church back in my youth, there were scriptures that basically said, whatever you want, God will give it to you. So I had to translate. I said, what you're saying is you're afraid to move to Atlanta. It's not that your God doesn't want you to go, because if you want to go, it's for very specific reasons, especially coming out of Indiana where the opportunities are low. You want to come to a city that has abundant opportunities. Why would your deity not want you to have these opportunities? Why would your deity want you to live in a house where you're with your person and you're not happy? Why would your deity want you to sit in your spilled milk? That's fear talking. That's you projecting. And that's one thing about church people. God told me to tell you. Well, I got a phone too. Your deity, I don't even know your deity, so it don't need to be talking about me to you. I have a phone number. I have an address. You can mail me a letter. You can call my phone. I have a Facebook. Y'all like to talk to your deity a lot through Facebook. I got a Facebook. I got a Twitter and an Instagram. Don't tell me about something out there. Tell me about you, and stop projecting you on other things that have nothing to do with me. So with all that being said, fear is fake. It's real, but it's fake. Huh? I know people just probably looked at the screen. You know how when a dog hears something, he be like, right. Fear is fake, but it's real. It's fake because you can conquer that, but it's real because we've made it where we grow up in it. It's taught to us. It's pushed to us to fear. My grandmother would always say whenever I come home from college and I'm about to kick it with Comay, Jamil gonna get shot going to these clubs. What? Now, granted, there's a possibility that a stray bullet might come and boom. But just because I'm going to the club and party and I'm gonna get killed? Right. That was her way of being like, I love you. I'm afraid for you because it's crazy out here. And I wish you would stay in the house and watch the Golden Girls or something. Like, why not just say that? I'm gonna say no either
Right.
way, but that sounds a little bit better. Then Jamil gonna get shot. He gonna get killed out there at the Club Mecca. A lot of people got killed at Club Mecca. So
Yeah.
anyway, fear is fake, but it's real. Knowledge yourself, know thyself. What's the word? Temet noske. Temet noske. TEMETNOSCE. Look that up, man. And then I will also say, go look at The Matrix. And then
Yeah.
it's a long movie, but write down the different things that you see
Yeah.
that you can apply to society today. And then look those up. And I guarantee you it will blow your mind if you're not familiar with anything that I'm talking about today. Just do that. Take you well, it's sunny here. I was about to say it's raining. You ain't got nothing to do, but in your downtime, do that and then check back into the show and let's have a further conversation about that. But Q Quarles, do you have a fun fact for today?
Well, today I was just going to go over my DNA results from Ancestry.
Well, then let's go over your DNA from Ancestry.com. You heard me. Let's see, where is it? Is this it?
That is a fun fact.
Want to hear a fun fact?
It's like a fun fact.
Another fun fact.
Here's a fun fact.
Or not so.
Fun fact.
Or here's another not so fun fact.
Not so much fun anymore, is it?
So y'all know I've been doing a little bit of Temet Noske, okay? All right.
Hey.
So trying to get to know thyself, and it all has started with my y'all know I've been talking about my many accounts with ancestry.com, the free joints, and then you got to cancel in time so you don't get charged. So but I have one steady one.
I was about to say, how many emails you got now? About 30?
So I have one steady one, and that is the one in which I purchased my DNA through. And I was going to do the and I still would like to do the African ancestry to kind of compare the two. Now, granted, all through my skepticism and everything of what's going on with DNA and all of that, there's still a part of me that has this yearning to want to know, want to know something. Like, am I a part of something? Where, who, what, why, when, all of that. And so I went ahead and copped it. It was a sale, so I got it. Now that caused some skepticism too, in addition to the many other documentaries that I've watched and YouTube videos in accordance to Ancestry and the 23andMe and like all of that, all of those different the different DNA testing kits. So anywho, went ahead and got it and received them back. And so me and my brother, let me just first say that Black people will put money on anything.
You mean
They
like
will.
bet? Like a bet?
Bet, yes. We'll
Bet you-
put
bet
money on it
$5.
then.
Mhm.
Yeah, put money on it. So after I did it, I called my brother and I told my brother, I said, look, so I got a DNA test, okay, to a kit for ethnicity. So I was like, what you think it's gonna say? My brother was like, this is him. Y'all, this is my brother. Don't you say nothing, okay? So my brother goes, shoot, I think it's gonna be a little bit of Migo and a little bit of Buddy. I said, what? He was like, a little bit of Migo and a little bit of a Buddy. I said, listen, I'm not gonna do this with you. I said, so Middle Eastern. So you think Hispanic and Middle Eastern. And he was like, he said, yeah. He said, and maybe a little bit of Sicilian. I said, okay, and Italian. So you think Hispanic, Italian, and and uh and Middle Eastern? And he was like, yeah. I said, yeah, no, I disagree. And he said, so what you think? I said, I think sub-Saharan African, um, and probably a little bit of Irish. And yeah, I think that's about. He said, nah, Irish. I said, yeah, I think Irish. So I said, you gotta read up on history. It's a history behind why I think Irish is in there. And he said, okay, well, I'm sticking with it. I said, okay, you want to put money on it? What about a little friendly wager? So, needless to say, if my brother's listening, you owe me money, buddy.
Money.
Honey. So I'm gonna go over these results with y'all. So I opened up my email, and it is saying that I am 24% Nigerian, 19% Cameroonian, Congo, and Western Bantu peoples, 15% Mali, 10% Benin and Togo, 7% England and Northwestern European, 7% Scottish, 6% Germanic Europe, 5% Ivory Coast and Ghanaian, 3% Irish, 2% Wales, 1% Senegalese, and 1% Southern Bantu peoples, with it says additional communities that link me to early Virginian African Americans. We all know where that's from. And I know I've been talking to you guys about my grandmother, my fourth great grandmother out of North Carolina. So, and then a heavy connection to Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, and those of West Tennessee African Americans. So I have a lot of Tennessee roots. Denmark, Tennessee. That's where my grandfather was born. I think I've mentioned him as well. Them owning land in Tennessee, being a free person on that side of the family. And I got some people on my mom's side that were heavily connected to Tennessee as well. But listen, I knew that there was some clearly some African in there, but to look at this, it was like, goodness, like it was wonderful to really see, even though it's an estimate. It's just a beautiful thing to feel like, or to know that you are connected to where all life stem from, and what parts. So I just think I think it's dope. And I just got the passports for myself and my children. Another item that I'm skeptical about, because now it's like, what are we getting ready to do with it? Like, in order to travel to where I want to travel to, we got to. They make it so hard for us. 50 million different shots, and my kids got to have 50 different million shots, and that's just something that I've always wanted to experience, and I've wanted my children to experience. And we all just received our passports as well, so this will serve as a travel guide for us. So I've been looking into different tribes. Oh, another tribe that I'm connected to, that of Mali, has heavy artistic and architectural attributes to it. So I thought that was dope. And then Benin is where a lot of beautiful artworks have been made and stolen by the French, and there's a refusal to give it back, with the fear that Africa won't be able to take care of the artwork that
they
they
created.
created. Yeah, so, but to see these places in which I have roots, it just, it does something to me. So
Yeah, and you know, France is off the chain. They make Nigeria, some countries over in Africa pay them, make them pay them taxes.
France is like Europe. Europe in of itself is a trip. They do the same thing to Haiti.
Yeah, they off the chain, and the UN just sitting back like, "Ooh, just keep it nice and neat." Like, what's the purpose of the UN if this country is over there doing what it's doing and you know, any leader, and it was breaking down about how the governments over there in the different countries in Africa, how the leaders can be corrupt. Well, it's like, either you're gonna stand up and fight, and then they'll kill you underneath they'll form a coup and then kill you, or you're going to live good and sell your people out. And I mean, this is, of course, nothing that the media is going to talk about. Like, in other news, LeBron James just scored a triple-double. And then we're going to be like, ooh, goddamn, LeBron James. Boy, that boy just LeBron James. But this is public. Anything we talk about on this show is public and free. You can look it up for yourself. And yeah, those genealogy tests, it really, in some instances, I had the skepticism too, because there's things that's left off of there that I know for a fact that should be included on there. And I'm like, y'all not slick. I know some of my family members and where they from and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then they have other attributes on there. You be like, that's not even real. That's not even a real group. But if you don't know, you can easily be tricked into believing a lie. You tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth.
This is just like on African ancestry. It's a lot of
they break it down though.
They do break it down, but it's when they say, like, you know, like the Fula tribe, like a lot of people, like, and it's a lot of people that are, like, a lot of people that you can trace back to the Fula tribe. But what people don't know is that the Fula people were nomadic. So it's just like, you say, "Ooh, yeah, you know," but then at the same time, it's like you're from somewhere, but you're not.
You're from somewhere, like, and everywhere you want to be.
And everywhere you want to be. You're from somewhere and everywhere you want to be. So it's not really a specification there.
Yeah. There's a lot of tribes that were nomadic.
Yeah. So it's just like you got to dig a little deeper and really dive into it.
This is real entertainment. When you actually are learning something that's going to control you in a positive manner. Again, entertain, enter to go inside. Tain to control. Ment means mind. So if you're entertaining yourself with actual knowledge of self, it's going to put you on a path and lead you to certain places. Whereas if you sit in front of this TV and let the corporations entertain you, you're going to be going around in a circle like, which way did he go? Which way did he go? Which way did he go? You know what I mean? Like, you know, one thing I mentioned last show about how you go into the inner city and we spend $200-$300 plus on the Jordans, but it only costs Nike $5 to make it.
Yes.
And we're so indoctrinated with materialism that we'll fight over you stepping on my $5 shoes or kill somebody. Let me get them $5 shoes. But yeah, so Brad said, and shout out to Brad, man. We never even had a conversation in college, but as an adult, I see that I find myself around people that are enlightened, and I'm like, man, I never knew it. He said The Matrix is a documentary. Real talk. It's a real talk.
Listen, Brad and I have gotten like he'll say something like, you got to look at Brad's stories. Brad's stories be off the hook. Like, if I see that he has a story out, scroll straight to that thing.
Hey,
Let
his
me see what
thumbnail
Brad
is
talking about.
hilarious. His thumbnail, if you look at his profile, the frame, hilarious.
So and I've inboxed, but, well, what is this? Or, or tell, like, or he'll ask me, now where you get that book from? Or, you know what I mean?
Sharing
It's all
information.
about building. Yeah.
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 I'd like to bring him and his wife on one show. I'll probably reach out to him after this to see about bringing them on to talk about them juices that they got going on. And that's another thing. When
he'll be at the Black Vegan Fest.
Oh, he's a vendor?
Just to let you know. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. We'll wrap. Another thing, when you start learning stuff, somebody told me, they say you're a wealth of knowledge. Well, the thing about knowledge is once you start seeking, it magnetizes itself to other pieces of information. And so you go looking for this one thing, and then boom, here comes health consciousness. Boom, here comes history. Boom, here comes spirituality and how it transformed through force into religion. Or boom, here's how to make this, that, and you just be like, man, I can talk about this, or not just that I can talk about it. I'm aware, I'm conscious of these things. Whereas if I didn't start here, I would have still been in for dupe land. So, with no further ado, I think what time is it?
Are you frozen over there?
I guess I am. Y'all got tired of seeing my face.
Listen. Look, your camera do a good job of freezing you. Whatever freeze frames you be in, it look like.
I was warmed by the river.
I can never be in the freeze frame and look like that.
Like
I
Blink.
always like a goofball.
Blink, Jamil. Blink. We having a staring contest. I'm guaranteed to win, but you don't know that. I'm not even gonna breathe. I'm gonna hold on just a little bit longer. Oh man, I'm probably gonna have to cancel this subscription with this software. I'm tired. Going through a year and a half with this. I'm gonna have to find something else. But nonetheless, we are at the end of the show. I hope that shed some light. And one thing I do want to say is, don't get mad at the information. Get mad at the people that continuously lie to you today with the free information.
Yes.
A lot of people want to get mad when you turn the light on and be like, hey, nah, this ain't it. I didn't make this up, but this is what it is. And they want to get mad at you. Don't get mad at me. You know what I mean? Get mad at these institutions and these people, these leaders, these point of contacts that push this stuff out there. Don't get mad because I'm exposing it. Because what did Fred Hampton say? The chairman, Fred Hampton, said, you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. So, whatever. We here, another show in the books. Thank everybody who came out. Share this out with your friends. We want to get some more positive people on this show to talk about their businesses and talk about the things they're into. If you know anybody, follow the instructions on this post. Please follow the instructions. Don't just pop up with a headshot under the post. I'm gonna act like I didn't see it. Do it all the time. Don't ask questions that was already answered. I'm gonna act like I don't see it. Do it all the time. But what else can I say? Thank you, Desiree. Thank you for showing out. I know it's early out there in Phoenix. But thank everybody for showing up and participating. Yeah. This has been the Jamel Harley Show. If you have nothing else to say, Quiana, we're going to ride out.
Well, I just like to say, enjoy yourself today. Love on your loved ones for this long weekend for those who have it. And also like, comment, and share the Jamel Harley Morning Show when you watch it in the morning. And that's all I got to say about that.
Hey.
Thank y'all for coming out.
Thank y'all for coming out. Good night. God bless.
You are now listening to the Jamel Harley Morning Show.